Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to another semi-daily movie review. Today, we're going to be checking out the 1995 film Rumble in the Bronx, directed by Stanley Tong, written by Edward Tang and Phoebe Ma, stars Jackie Chan, Anita Mui, Francois Yip, Bill Tung, Mark Ackerstream, Garvin Cross, and others. The plot synopsis here, it says a young man visiting and helping his uncle in New York City finds himself forced to fight a street gang and the mob with his martial arts skills. Well, there you go. So yeah, Rumble in the Bronx. Everybody's seen Rumble in the Bronx at least once, right? It was kind of a staple in my house growing up. Probably one of the earlier Jackie Chan movies I would have seen, because this was kind of the start. This was the start of Jackie Chan in the United States, really, for mainstream U.S. stuff. Then after Rumble in the Bronx is a success, they kind of start re-releasing. They got, Miramax and I think New Line and Warner Brothers. They all had different movies of his, and they actually even had to come to an agreement not to kind of release them at the same time, because he had such a large backlog. Like the Operation Condor, Super Cop, or Police Story 3, Jackie Chan's First Strike, which is Police Story 4, and a lot of the other stuff. So they actually even had to kind of make an arrangement that they wouldn't release them around each other, so they could spread them out a little bit, so it didn't oversaturate the market, and then they would all feel the negative effects of that. But yeah, so this is the first one that I saw, probably. I'm imagining so. I have to imagine. And I've seen it probably 15 times in my life, I gotta say. I watch it now at this point, and it just kind of washes over me. It's like I've seen it so many times that it feels like I just watched it yesterday. In part, actually. Gotta take that back. Let me take a step back. In part. There's something, I remember all of the stunts and a lot of the individual scenes. Like the first 45 minutes, I remember very well. But for some reason, every time I watch Rumble in the Bronx, I forget all about the mob and looking for the diamonds. There's this whole subplot that kind of comes in halfway through the movie about these diamonds that Jackie accidentally gets a hold of, and then the mob starts looking for him. And yeah, I always forget about that. I always only remember the street punks. And honestly, to be critical, I kind of wish the movie was just about Jackie Chan versus these fucking street punks. I don't think this added complication, this added narrative complication that is underdeveloped and doesn't really go anywhere, nowhere important anyways. I just didn't get it. I understand they're trying to create a sense of escalation, more and more danger, but just, anyways, I don't want to start this early in the review talking about they should have changed this. You could have made this better if you just moved this over here. No, I don't want to do that. It's an okay movie. It's a pretty slight movie. It's 90 minutes long. It's kind of just a fun action comedy for the most part. It does have some surprisingly darker stuff in it. There's a scene in the movie where he's cornered in an alleyway and they throw bottles at him and they all fuck him up. Pretty kind of crazy. It is rated R though, which is surprising because it doesn't feel like it really should be rated R. It does feel kind of like a silly PG-13 movie, at most. Honestly, there's a cut of Rumble in the Bronx that they could probably get to where you get a PG, especially in 2020. It's so tame by modern standards. Definitely would not be rated R today. Even I think as is, it probably wouldn't even be rated R. I'm trying to remember, is there a boob or something? I don't think there is. There's some Jackie Chan camel toe. I do know that. Guy shows some impressive camel toe. Male camel toe. Let me see. I'll bring it up on the screen if I can find it. I took a picture of it. I was like, ooh, male camel toe. Male camel toe. That's some serious stuff, guy. Or maybe I didn't. I could have sworn that I did. It's okay. You're here. We can all have fun together. Oh, I did. Okay. You guys are going to love this. You're going to love it. You're going to fucking love it. It's going to be worth this awkward wait. I guarantee you. Oh, look at that. Male camel toe. Look at that. There it is. You don't see that very often, That's bravery. That's going that extra mile for the audience. That's the Chan way, everybody. That's the Chan way. Ooh yeah. Anyways, so yeah, it's okay. I think now it is. I would not put this as one of my favorite of all times, but it's super enjoyable. It's a fun 90-minute kind of wash over you. Got some great choreography. Although ironically, by the time like Jackie Chan gets to the West, he's a little bit older. And it's not as fast or as good as the stuff in the 80s. Especially if you go back to like Police Story or Police Story 2. I mean, that stuff is next level stunt work. Next level physical like ability. Once you get to Rumble in the Bronx, it's a little slowed down. I think I talked about this when I talked about Super Cop like a while ago, or Police Story 3. That you could definitely tell he was older, and they changed the kind of the nature of the stunts and the fight choreography to take it a little bit easier on him. I mean, he went and he did it for sure. He went out and he did the stuff, but they're more like the stunts are more just like crazy. It's just like, holy shit, he jumped off this parking garage onto this balcony. Holy shit, he's getting dragged behind this hoverboat. Like, that's most of the stuff that like sticks out in my mind as big moments, because the fights, well, they're like okay. I think the fight when he fights the punks at like the top of the third act and their hideout is probably the highlight battle. Although, having watched a lot of these recently over the past year, a lot of Jackie Chan stuff, a lot of the fights and a lot of the choreography almost feels like recycled beats from other movies. There's like moments that are directly the same moves, the same like framing. But I guess, hey man, you did all that stuff back in the day. Yeah, but this was a weird production. It's a Chinese production, but they shot it in Canada. And I don't even think that they were originally going to call it Rumble in the Bronx. Like, that was something that was added later. I don't even think it was supposed to be New York City originally. I think they were just saying that he was in Canada because it's a Chinese production. That would be exotic to the Chinese people and to the larger global market. It wasn't until I think New Line got involved that they were like, they decided to change it to the Bronx. Apparently, even the storyline is slightly different in the international cut of the movie. It's kind of cool though. The production was kind of cool though, because it's a lot. It's like they used to make spaghetti westerns where they'd have like an international cast and everybody would just speak their native language, and then they would go and dub it over after the fact. Because there's actors of all different walks of life in this. Some people were speaking French, some people were speaking German, some people were speaking Chinese, and then they go in afterwards and they dub it all, which is normal because you feel like that's a normal thing. I don't even think they have. I don't think even on this Blu-ray. Yeah, you can't even watch it in the original. You can watch the Spanish dub, but you can't watch the international one. And I think the international one's also like 10 minutes longer, which is not that weird. A lot of Jackie Chan movies, I know Jackie Chan First Strike has got like a cut that's like 20 minutes longer. I think Super Cop might have a longer cut too. Super Cop's another one where they have like if you watch the American dub, all the music is different and they're weird. Like they have like the "I'm Too Sexy for My Shirt" song play during part of Super Cop, even though in the movie it's like a Chinese like military anthem for a montage sequence. Very weird. Very weird. I mean, it's like Jackie Chan trying on disguises, but still, it was kind of weird. Fucking Miramax. Fucking Weinsteins. No good, even back then. Jesus. Yeah. I mean, not much else to say about it, honestly. I'm letting everybody down. I'm running out of batteries. But, it is a Jackie Chan movie. If you like Jackie Chan movies, like, you're going to like Rumble in the Bronx. You're going to at least enjoy Rumble in the Bronx. It's weird because it has probably the most like culturally recognized of like the early Jackie Chan movies, and it's not one of the better ones. It's not well, it's on par with like First Strike. It's on par with some of that stuff that he made in the mid 90s. I think Super Cop is probably the last like great like Jackie Chan proper movie in my opinion. I think Super Cop is the last one he gets away with it. Stanley Tong is this is the same director. Stanley Tong ends up doing a bunch of movies with Jackie Chan. He does, he did Super Cop 3 or Police Story 3 Super Cop. He did Rumble in the Bronx. He did Super Cop 2 with Michelle Yeoh. He ends up doing First Strike or Police Story 4. And then after that, he gets into the big leagues and he makes a Disney movie. He made a fucking Mr. Magoo. Somehow, making Rumble in the Bronx and First Strike netted him the opportunity to make Mr. Magoo with Leslie Nielsen. The live-action Mr. Magoo movie. You guys remember that? I remember it. Vaguely, actually. I don't even remember it very much. But I guess they were like, hey, man, you do like physical stuff. Because Stanley Tong is actually a stuntman. He started as a stuntman and a choreographer. He was Michelle Yeoh's stunt person for a while. That's where he gets his start. So they promoted from within, I guess. And since then, he's done a little bit of TV, and then I think he's done mostly Chinese movies. Vanguard is his most. He had a movie come out this year. Oh, I actually heard about this. Vanguard has Jackie Chan in it. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's supposed to be very good, but he's still doing it. He's still at it. Jackie Chan's much older man now. I'm curious, though. I'll probably watch this if I ever see it on like Netflix or something. But anyways, all right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to know more about Zoobox, a bunch of stuff in the description. If you'd like to make a recommendation for one of the daily videos, semi-daily videos, something to talk about in Zoobox Goes to the Movies, leave it in the description, and we'll put it on the list. All right, everybody. Thank you. Goodbye.